All right, we are live. Welcome back, everyone. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Just making sure everything's working here. All right. Been having a lot of troubles with the internet here lately. All right, well, we'll give her a whirl. See what happens. Welcome back. J-Bone here for Smash This Podcast. Going to do some talk about last night's Impact Wrestling. If you want to go check out my predictions that I did last night, thanks to Robert from Robert Does Wrestling Reviews. The link is in the description if you want to see my thoughts on Bound for Glory. That is not going to be included in this video, although I can tell you I am excited about it. So go over there, give him some love, give him a sub. He's trying to build his channel just like me. And he's from Puerto Rico too. I thought that was really cool. Nice kid. Had a blast with him last night. Go check him out. Go give him some love. So last night's Impact Wrestling. Oh my goodness. Loaded show with some very interesting segments to boot. We start out with a fatal four-way. Trevor Lee, Jack Evans, Puma King, and Petey Williams in a fatal four-way. Now, I thought there was going to be some kind of ramifications to this, like as in who won was going to maybe end up being Scarlett Bordeaux's like talent search winner, but I didn't see anything come out of there. Petey Williams came out with the win, but let me tell you, everyone looked like $1 million in this, and it was great to see new faces like Jack Evans and Puma King. I would love to see more of Jack Evans in the Impact Zone, no matter where they are. Puma King, I'm not too familiar with, but I've heard positive things about him throughout the, social medias and stuff like that. He's from, I guess he's from AAA. That's who they're affiliated with. I thought I saw his name in other places like CMLL. Maybe he's one of those guys that just floats around from promotion to promotion, kind of like Pentagon does. Pentagon and or Phoenix, amongst others. But yeah, hell of a win for Petey Williams coming out with his Canadian Destroyer. Man, you don't see too many people kicking out of that one. Then we get an interview with Rich Swann. Now, this was interesting. I did not think we were going to get the reveal for this match until Bound for Glory. And then all of a sudden at the end of this interview, talking about the surprise that Rich Swann had for his tag team match with All Ego, Ethan Page, and Matt Sydal, he says, roll my guy's footage. And it was like, oh, we're going to find out. And then it says Chocolate Thunder. And I was like, oh, we're getting Willie Mack in the Impact Zone. That is just incredible. I love me some Willie Mack. Became a big fan of his in Lucha Underground. And he's gone down a really interesting road. He was supposed to have a contract with WWE. They were about to sign him, and then they pulled it for whatever reason. I forget what it was. Maybe if it was he didn't quite pass the physical or they were worried about something. But hey, he's had a hell of a past few years on in the Indies on Lucha Underground. He's also House of Hardcore champion. That's nothing to sneeze at, folks. He's really knocking it out of the park. And now he's coming to Impact. I don't know if he's officially signed. I have not heard any details. I'm sure we'll hear something in the coming weeks. And I hope this isn't a one-off. I hope he's, joining Impact on a regular basis. Because I don't know where his, allegiance lies as far as if he's still under contract with Lucha Underground or any of that type of stuff. I just don't know. Because he's one of those names that's not talked about a ton, but it is brought up. He also just faced Cody for the NWA Championship. That's also on my to-do list. You can go over to NWA's YouTube channel and go check that out. In fact, I'm going to go check that out right after I'm done doing this. So we're getting Willie Mack and Rich Swann versus Ethan Page and Matt Sydal. That's just, man, I am really excited about that match. I'm not going to give you my prediction, but if you want to see that, remember, go to the link in the description. Go check that out. All right, just making sure we're not having too many issues. Anybody watching that wants to chime in the chat, let me know if the video is doing okay. You can let me know as well. Just it could be one of those days, I could tell. Super excited for that match. Next, we get Grado versus Maximo. Don Callis, right off the bat, calls Maximo the Mexican Grado. He's flamboyant. The video's running from, hey, Robert, there's a gentleman I was with last night right there. Thank you, Robert. You can go click on his picture right there. Go give him some love. That's where the channel is. Had a blast with you, Robert. Thanks again. Go give that guy some love. Maximo versus Grado. This is the smooch heard around the world. Let me tell you. In fact, there was a lot of smooching going on. And I don't know a lot about Maximo, but I have seen a few matches with him recently, watching a few AAA events here and there on, I believe, on Twitch. He's very flamboyant, and he's always trying to kiss the enemy or anyone in the ring, for the ref, anyone. Hey, the Aussie Impact guy, what is up? Yes, that match was absolutely hilarious. We got some pretty cool wrestling moves in this match to boot as well. So it wasn't all jokes. Maximo actually did pull off a really good tope out of the ring, and I think he hit Grado so hard he busted his head open. Not real bad, but you could see a little spot as he was getting up. He kind of knocked himself, I think. And then, of course, the smooching knocked each other. It was so funny when Maximo comes out with the win, rolls him up, comes out with the win, and Grado was just like, what happened? He looks up at Maximo, and Maximo's like, oh, I laughed so hard. And I think someone, I don't remember who, Callis or Matthew, said something about it's probably the most action he's seen in a while or something. So Grado, showing some good sportsmanship, gets back in the ring, offers his hand, as a sign of mutual respect, and then brings Maximo in and gives him a smooch back and just knocks Maximo out with a kiss. And then Grado storms off. Oh, man. It's too funny. Yeah. Callis wants to bring Maximo to New York City. We'll see if that happens. I think that would be an absolute trip. Why not? Bring him in for some tapings. Show him New York City. Too damn funny. Eli Drake, in his next interview, sets up a very... Just reading Robert's comment here. Nickname, translate to English, is Savage Strawberry. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing that with me, Robert. Oh, you got me on that one. Oh my goodness. The Savage Strawberry. I'm going to get a refill. I'll be right back. Oh, damn. Oh. Oh. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, shnikes. That is a good one. Oh, my goodness. I don't think I've laughed that hard on here in a long time. Thank you. Oh, my goodness, I'm crying. The Savage Strawberry. That is, oh. That is absolutely priceless. Love you, Robert. That was great. Oh, the things you learn in professional wrestling. My goodness. All right. Next segment. Eli Drake's having a interview with Michelle McKenzie, and he lays down a New York challenge. A challenge for Bound for Glory for New Yorkers, strictly for New Yorkers, someone from New York. So that could mean a lot of things. People residing from New York, people born in New York. In our discussions last night on Robert's channel, talking about some possibilities, my first guess, I mean, you were talking about because they said in the preview that there was going to be returns, surprises, and you never know who's going to show up. So that covers a lot of different bases. So as far as people from New York, it could be anybody. One little fact that I don't think a lot of people know, I looked this up, and I could be wrong, but from what I've read and learned, is that Chris Jericho is actually born in New York, raised in Canada. So we could get Chris Jericho showing up for this if he is going to show up for this show, but I don't think he's going to show up for this. I think we're going to get someone like someone more like Bully Ray, who is from Hell's Kitchen, or he's booked from Hell's Kitchen. I don't know if he's actually from Hell's Kitchen. I'd have to look that one up. But that's the one that we came up with last night. There's a lot of different options. I know, I think Enzo's from New York. we could get End Zone to Impact Zone. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea, but Big Cass, yeah, maybe. You never know. Lots of different options out there. I'm not going to be upset if one shows up and the other doesn't show up or whatever. I think we're going to get a lot of nice surprises during this show. It's going to be really fun. So we'll see who shows up for the challenge. And I'm not going to predict a winner either, because that's just that's so hard to do. I mean, who knows? Next, we get a very interesting not tag team match, a singles match. Gama Singh's in the ring, and he announces them as the former tag team, as in the loser leaves. It's kind of like a loser leaves town match, except the loser gets a trip back to India. Oh, it's a hell of a trip. That's not just leaving town. That's leaving for the other side of the world, literally. So we get Rohit Raju versus Jahinder Singh, and loser leaves town. Raju comes out with the win in a decent match, but obviously there was a lot of hesitation, because they've become a tag team, a pretty tight tag team. I mean, they win together and they lose together, and they've been beat to the point where now they had to become enemies, and that's not what they wanted. So Jacinder Singh is going back to India. He lost the match. I don't know if this is going to be the last we see of him. We'll have to see how this goes forward. Kind of an awkward moment to this episode. Not going to lie. I like the Desi Hit Squad, but this is obviously going to be a big hit for the tag team division. So we'll see what happens. Got some drama in the Desi Hit Squad. Let's see what's next here. We got Johnny Impact and Falaba and Eddie Edwards in a really good 3-on-3 versus Austin Aries, Killer Cross, and Moose. Tons of action here. Aries team comes up with the win, going into Bound for Glory. I know a lot of times whenever the champ wins right before a big show, the other guy wins at the pay-per-view, but this is Impact Wrestling, and you can't assume anything. But I know that's typically how they book these things, but like I said, never assume, because you know what happens when you assume stuff. You know how it goes. So, good match, though. One of the highlights was seeing Falaba and Killer Cross go back and forth. Falaba really growing some cojones over the last few weeks. Wanting some avenging his fallen partner, who has not been around lately, KM. So yeah, we'll see. Then we get what I think was one of the best segments in the whole episode. Completely blew me away and really put a twist and really went deep as far as this whole story with the undead situation with Su Yung and everything. Allie visits James Mitchell, and I was really excited when I saw James Mitchell because I just assumed it was going to be something that had to do with Abyss going in the Hall of Fame. And then Allie shows up, and I was like, what is going on here? And they had this whole thing going back and forth talking about how Allie is been walking around lately as half a person because she already sold her soul to the devil. No, not to my lap. That's just naughty. No, stop that. No coffee for you. Stop that. Jeez. You nasty like James Mitchell. Mm. So, we finally found out how she got out of the Undead Realm. I really liked this segment. Yeah, I mean, it really. I mean, they went deep storyline with this, which is nice to do once in a while because I like the fact that they're doing that with Su Yung, and they show a few backstage things with her here and there, the footage of her like burning the casket with her undead bridesmaids, stuff like that. It's like stuff that really builds character. I mean, really builds character like old school. And Allie is, like I said, so she sold her soul and she needs James Mitchell's help to go into the undead realm. See, last night when I watched it, I misunderstood the segment. I thought it was just setting up Su Yung versus Allie again. And I was like, oh, that's a great match. Okay. But I misunderstood it. No, she's just going into the undead realm. Now that could ensue in some kind of match. I think we may see the return of Rosemary possibly, but she's going into the undead realm to get her friend Kiera Hogan back. Because Su Yung stuck her in a coffin and dragged her away to hell, or presumably now. Now we know where they go. So I will be very curious to see how they play this out at Bound for Glory, and see if it turns into a match. We'll see. I'm not throwing a ton of expectations in this. All I can say is, and I don't mean that in a negative way, it's going to be very, like I said, very interesting to see how this plays out. Anything involving Allie and Su Yung on Impact Wrestling is money. These two have really stepped up the game as far as the whole knockouts division. And now you're throwing a supernatural element into it. In fact, I had my wife watch this specific segment because I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is, she would really, if anybody, just my wife loves the show Supernatural. I'm like, you'll like this. You'll really like this. So she was like, wow. And then left. So see what happens this Sunday. We get a really good match out of, I don't want to mispronounce this, but I'll just say Kira. I think that's how you pronounce it. Kira versus Tessa Blanchard. Solid knockouts match. I would have loved to have seen some kind of face-off or something between Taya and her, but they've been playing promos and stuff, building this up and building it up on social media. Both women have been plugging stuff on social media. So, I mean, the feud is there. It's, I don't need a knockdown, drag out thing right before the pay-per-view all the time. I'm good with this. As soon as Taya showed up and said that she was challenging Tessa, I was sold on it. This could very well be knockout / women's match of the year. It's got the potential. I cannot wait to see the return of Taya to the Impact Zone and Bound for Glory. She's been really working hard. If you've been following on social media, you know her struggles, you know what she's been up against recently, and just, just going through a major life change. She went away for a while, she got married, she's been focusing on her getting healthy again, and I think we're going to see a new and improved kicking ass Taya Valkyrie come back to Bound for Glory at Impact Wrestling. Can't wait. Underwhelming. Yeah, I mean, it's, they did the one promo and that was it. So it is what it is, The match should it's one of those where I think the match will speak for itself. Like if you say that The Rock is coming back and he's going to face off against The Undertaker at WrestleMania, do you really need that much of a build-up? No, you don't. Just like you put this name up here, you put this name up here, and people are going to go, damn, I want to see that. It's the same but different. And no, I'm not comparing Tessa to The Undertaker. Get out of here. And then last but certainly not least, we get the Summit with the OGs and LAX. Conan informing the OGs and King that the ceasefire is over. And fight ensues at the end. I love the promo, though. It's like every week, King knocks it out of the park. Absolutely knocks it out of the park. I wish they would have let him do this more before, but I think he's really stepped it up these last few months as far as someone on the roster, someone on TV portraying this dark gangster figure, someone who's trying to get power and the whole New York struggle. So I can't wait to see this. I know a lot of people are saying that this is the one that's going to steal the show. There's a few matches at Bound for Glory that I think have potential to steal the show this Sunday, but this is certainly one of them. I think this match will certainly end the feud. I think it's time to end it. I'm not saying it's gone on too long. I've enjoyed it, but I think if they drag this out any longer, it's going to be beating a dead horse. But to end it with the return of Conan to the ring is a good way to do it, because that's the big point of all this. Conan is returning to the ring. He's gone through several health issues over the last few years. Excuse me. And this is kind of one of his farewell matches. He was part of the MLW 40-man, what was that, Battle Riot. And he didn't do too much in that, but just the fact that he was involved, was cool. He's got a match somewhere set up in the future for AAA versus Vampiro. Not sure where that's going to land. That could end up being like sooner than later, or they could drag that out till next Triple Mania. That could headline next Triple Mania. Who knows? But he's got a slew of matches that he wants to do before he retires. Conan is a hell of a name in the business. He deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. Any Hall of Fame, for that matter. I don't care which Hall of Fame you're talking about. He deserves to. In fact, when they were announcing names for the Hall of Fame for this year for Impact Wrestling, he was my pick, because I thought this would be perfect. Put him in the Hall of Fame. He has his last physical match with Impact Wrestling. Great way to send out. But we'll, that's certainly, I think he would be a shoo-in for next year. unless he decides to not retire. We'll see. Wow. That is something. Vampiro comes to Bound for Glory and costs LAX the match. Huh. Wow. I'd love to see that, but I really want to. I'm really pulling for Conan to win. But we'll see. Wow, that's a hell of a thought. I did not think of that one. There's some thinking right there. We'll see. We will see what happens. I'm not trying to put too much into the thought as far as who's all going to show up. I think as far as names and surprises, I think the one, I hate to say guaranteed because I thought CM Punk was going to be guaranteed for All In and he didn't show up, but it was still a hell of a show without him. I think Chris Jericho is a boot to go for showing up. Absolutely. But if he doesn't, even though I think he's a shoo-in, I still think the show is going to be incredible. I will definitely be watching this Sunday, and I will review it afterwards live right here on Smash This Podcast. Just want to remind you, folks, if you want to see my predictions for Bound for Glory, they are in the description. Go click on the link for Robert Does Wrestling Reviews. Also want to remind you, folks, if you have not checked it out yet, please do. This goes to a very good cause and near dear to my heart. Smash This Podcast for the month of October is going pink. Trying to fight cancer. The link is in the description if you want to help fight the cause. Rant With Ant put together a tremendous shirt over on the website. It's got all the Rant With Ant WrestleAddict Radio logos on it, including my own, because I am part of the part of the family. All my Impact review stuff goes on there. So proceeds for this t-shirt go to help fight cancer. And I also have my own t-shirt down there for sale. If you saw my shows last week with Mr. CM Styles, who was sitting right here live with me, you saw how badass the t-shirt looks. You want to support the show? Go get yourself one. Would be greatly appreciated. If you buy one, hit me up on the social media. I will share the hell out of it. We'll make you famous, just like Famous P. No, I'm not quite that cool, but we try. We try here on Smash This Podcast. You all have a tremendous weekend. We will see you live late Sunday night after Bound for Glory goes off the air. And we'll crack a couple cold ones and talk about what all went down. We'll see you then. Take care, folks. Thanks for watching.